Hey, yo, it's me. Welcome back to Uncertain. We still keep coming, huh? We still keep going, huh? We still make it. The money ain't ran out yet, huh? I might be the only dude I know that ain't on the Epstein list. That it might be long. Just me.
It is long.
It is a long list. We're going to get to that a little later. But, the Super Bowl is coming up. And, of course, a lot of people were just so angry that Bad Bunny is the Super Bowl halftime act. And I don't understand why. Like, if I could sit through Madonna scooting around in hot pants on, you know what I mean? That was rough. I remember she looked like William Dafoe. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing at the Super Bowl? Nice. And I don't know why people would get mad at a Super Bowl performance because all we do is eat. You're not going to hear Bad Bunny over the crunch of your nachos. I don't know how that's going to happen. But I remember Jason Whitlock got so upset. He said, I'm going to do everything within my power to make sure that Bad Bunny... I'm like, what? Shut the fuck up. Like, the Jason Whitlock, the Super Bowl is what he has his cereal in. What is he going to stop? It's so interesting because they are acting like he's not an American. Bad Bunny, I don't have to dig somebody's music or even be into somebody's music to know that they're a world star. And if you're gonna, Super Bowl now is which they're trying to take it global, right? Obviously, they're trying to make sure that it has with playing games at different places where trying to introduce it to the world. And the best way to do that is to have a Super Bowl halftime act that reflects the world's view of entertainment. Yeah. Like, it'd be crazy. Like, the problem with us is we want the world to buy our products and to invest in us, but we want to be very exclusive when it comes to things we like. And I think one of the things that you do, the one thing we still do better than anybody else, one of the rare things we do, is entertain. Like, we're great entertainers. The Super Bowl is obviously at the top of that list when it comes to that. So you want to do it. We've been so, like, we'll have a world championship with just us in it. it'll be New York versus LA for the world championship. So I hope he does well, and I hope he don't say shit in English. Not one thing.
Not one.
Now I hope he don't say one thing. It's ironic because the second largest Spanish-speaking country in the world is us. I think it's Mexico, and then maybe us. I'm talking in terms of people who speak Spanish. The dude has worked hard. Plus, who don't want to see Latin women? No. I mean, who? Come on, who don't want to see?
Well, if you don't want to see Bad Bunny, you can always watch the other show if you want to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. The alternative show. Let me just say who is it's Turning Point now, right? The Turning Point. I got to say this. Erica Kirk might be the happiest sad chick I've ever seen. I've never seen somebody that happy sad. Like, the last time I saw a widow that was that unbothered with her husband's death was an episode of Forensic Files. and they didn't call her a widow, they called her a suspect. Like, I've never seen a widow wearing leather pants on. Like, how do I look? Like I'm going to ladies' night. That's what you look like. But they are now an alternate Super Bowl program. An all-American Super Bowl, an alternate to Bad Bunny, is Turning Point's endeavor, and they're going to have, I guess,
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock is going to be one of them.
Brantley Gilbert.
Brantley Gilbert is going to be one of them.
Lee Bryce.
Now, let me just say this. Kid Rock, you're not going to ever see him at a Super Bowl halftime show. You see Kid Rock at a county fair. Like, you don't, you see Kid Rock and say, you get the fried butter and the pig foot on the stick. Oh, look, Kid Rock is on stage 4. You're never gonna see Kid Rock at a. If you see Kid Rock performing anywhere, it's outside. It's cotton candy. The steer that won the prize.
The steer.
You know what I mean?
What?
The pig that won. Like, it's always a county fair. But I think that this idea that you can program against the Super Bowl, and if you were going to do it, I don't know that Kid Rock would be the one. A lot of things have happened. I think one of the most interesting things, and I think it's continued to happen to a greater or lesser degree, is a lot of people who were, a lot of podcast bros who were all in for Trump are now having a change of heart. I think the latest one being Andrew Schultz. This is him.
If you never want to watch another thing again because we have Trump, that is totally fine. Respect it. I completely get it. You're 100% allowed to be frustrated.
We made that decision knowing it was open to criticism. All right, there it is.
That being said, like, moving forward, we don't just stay silent when something has this. Like, if we do have a platform, there's people that we're talking to, and we see something that is just so blatant. There's no partisan bullshit. bullshit with this. I looked at the numbers. 5% of the people they deported are violent criminals.
What I cannot for the life of me understand, I don't think the one thing you don't get to be if you chose that side is shocked, because everything that he is doing right now, everybody said he would do. Everybody said it was Project 2025. Virtually everything that is happening now was foretold. Like it's not a thing that is happening that nobody didn't know about. And so I think it's disingenuous to pretend like to feign shock at all the things everybody was saying that he was going to do, and now he is, and now you're feigning shock. Like you didn't believe because you had all the information, and what you did was you thought that it just couldn't be. And I think the best indicator of what somebody will do is what they have done. And how is it that people were so wrong about that? And all they had to do was really listen. Who is it? All the Cubans. I will vote for all those things. These people.
I will vote for Donald Trump. Una injusticia, una grande injusticia.
First off, if you say vote, how do you get to vote? Like I don't. If you say you gonna vote, I think pretty much that's a dead given. If you say I will vote, pretty soon they're gonna put you on one. I just don't understand how. And the thing about, and it wasn't just Cubans, it was Venezuelans, it was a lot of Mexicans, it was a lot of Cubans, because they're not a monolith. It's just they all predominantly went for Trump. The 56% of Latin men went for Trump. 46% of Latin women, I think almost 50% of them decided that Trump was the answer. And it's just galling to watch you now be shocked. Like, I thought they were going to just take away the bad people. Who are the bad people? Like, who did you think it would be? And now you're shocked that it's you. Like, you got to understand, well, I thought they were going to take away criminals. To a lot of people, your skin is your crime. That's literally, it galls me to see people this angry about a thing they voted for, and he said he would do it. Now, I don't necessarily like what he has done or approve of what he's done. I voted against what he's done, but I am not shocked that he's doing it. The only thing he didn't lie about is this. But now for people to go, I didn't think he was going to be snatching people. They were talking about, I heard Tom Homan, who, is now the head of ICE. They replaced him. He replaced Bovino in Minnesota. And somebody said that it's so accurate. Having Homan replace Bovino is like shitting in your pants and changing your shirt. That's how bad it is. They're the same thing.
Yikes.
But everything that they are doing right now, he said they would do. And he said, what if they're families? He said, we'll deport them together. But I really do think what happened was, I don't think Trump said anything different. I think America wasn't ready for those images.
Yeah.
I think America just weren't ready to see, people getting dragged out of cars and families. They weren't ready for that. I think that they are having, this whole thing that they're shocked that he's actually doing what he said he would do, it takes the onus of them making a decision where they thought it would be everybody but them.
Yeah, as in the case of those Cubans you were talking about, remember, who were singing that?
Yeah.
Her husband and her nephew were detained and deported.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens when you.
Now she's mad.
Listen, one of the things that they decided was they knew that it was going to happen to somebody. And they knew it was going to happen to somebody that spoke Spanish. They knew it was going to happen to somebody Latino. They just didn't think it was going to happen to their Latinos. They thought it would be that far away thing over there. And the truth of the matter is, they're indistinguishable. Like Vatsisa, it is one thing's for sure. It's a bad time in America to have an accent. If you got an accent of any type and you see a white van close by, I suggest you use sign language. It was so scary. I'm gonna tell you something. It has been like, I live in Los Angeles. It's been crazy there. Like, everybody's scared. People are scared to go to schools, or people scared to go to work. People are scared to go to doctor's appointments. Last May was the emptiest Cinco de Mayo I've ever seen. I was like, where's the motherfucker with the corn and the mayonnaise at? It is. But I think that this country just wasn't ready for the images that they saw. I think that they weren't ready to see people shot in the streets when this happened. I think they weren't ready to have, because you have to do a lot to make America change its mind about law enforcement. And you'll see people making these lines of delineation that say, well, I'm real law enforcement. When did you think it was a good idea to let dudes walk around with masks on? And Holman seems to think like his answer to everything is more transparency. How the fuck are you transparent when I can't see your face? Like like dudes wearing masks and jumping out of vans and grabbing people and taking away has never been on the right side of history. Like they're jumping out. Prove to me you're an American. I'm like, how the fuck? What are you telling me? You fat? You can't read? What do you do? But I think it isn't. They're not. And I think that one thing this administration has proven it won't do is course correct. This is the path they laid out. Stephen Miller has said you got to get 3,000 of these a day. And they're doing whatever they have to meet that quota. I think you take people who aren't trained, people who we don't know. Because if this is their training, there have been 17 shootings, 10 deaths in the last 45 days. And the shooting of the last two people, the three people, the young man that got shot in Los Angeles and the two people that got shot in Minneapolis were shot by Latin Border Patrol officers. So so the very dudes, who they are, because there are people in this administration who want everybody out. And I wonder, MAGA's head must be exploding to see Latin dudes shoot white people. That wasn't on their bingo card.
Right.
And to raise money to have that happen. So
this episode is sponsored by Hughley, the largest prediction market in the U.S.
Well, Hughley, it allows users to trade event contracts peer-to-peer rather than playing against a sports book, and it's available all across the country. You got it in California, Texas. Download Hughley and use code UNCERTAIN to get $10 when you trade $10. Hughley is the largest prediction market in the U.S., and it lets you do something very unique. Trade on whether things will or won't happen. Forget playing against the house as you would in a typical online sports book. Hughley is peer-to-peer trading. Think of it like this. You could trade on
anything. There's in politics, who will Trump nominate as Fed chair?
Could we trade on who's gonna be next named in the Epstein list? Could we do that?
We could. Or who Bad Bunny's halftime opener is.
What about Kid Rock? What songs? Well, he got 2 songs. So that's gonna be the shortest halftime. Could we trade on that? So you buy a yes contract if you're thinking of it like the Seahawks will win, or if Kendrick will win Album of the Year, or will President Trump pardon Diddy before 2027. I know Diddy would trade on that himself.
Yeah.
You buy a no contract if you think it won't happen. You're trading with other users similar to buying or selling stock. And you can jump in and out of your position at any time to lock in a profit, or you can cut a loss. Plus, you can maximize your potential payout with combos, multiplying your winnings by correctly predicting multiple events across different events. Hughley is where you put your money where your prediction is. How it works, users must deposit 10, put 10 on the trade, and then they're rewarded 10. Download the Hughley app and get $10 when you deposit with code UNCERTAIN. Using promo code UNCERTAIN when you sign up to get $10 when you trade $10.
Hughley.
The other big thing that there have been, of course, the Epstein list has come out again, and I think every time it comes out, the one thing that is pretty consistent is how prominently mentioned Donald Trump is. I think in this last batch, Donald Trump was mentioned 38,500 times. 38,500 times. Jesus was only in the Bible 1,400 times, and that's his daddy's book. 38,500 times. And I heard somebody say, I think it was this cat I follow on Instagram. He was talking about Harry Potter, and Harry Potter has 7 books. And in those 7 books, Harry Potter, the namesake of the book, was mentioned 19,000 times. Donald Trump in the Epstein files have been mentioned 38,500 times. And there have been all of these examples of things that, like in the first iteration, they asked, there was maybe that thing about him, they say he blew a dude named Bubba.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Like, there have been horrible allegations, right? It was some of the things. What are some of the things they're saying in the Epstein spouse? Some of the things that happened.
Well, this was reported by an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump, and the friend said she was also abused by Epstein.
Here's what I don't understand. I really don't. Now, we have seen a prince go down because of this, right? We have seen an ambassador go down because of this, right? Because of the connection with the Epstein list. We have seen Bill Gates get a divorce because of his association with the Epstein list, right? We have seen, I think there is we've seen, I think a president of a university has gone down because of this, right? Members of government have gone down because of this, right?
Yeah.
They right now are getting ready to depose a former vice president and his wife because of this, right? Now, out of all those things that are happening, and Donald Trump has mentioned 38,500 times, and not one question has been asked of him. Not one reporter went, "Did you blow Bubba?" Not one reporter asked, "Did you have sex with children?" Not one reporter has asked anything. And this administration has proven it doesn't need much information at all. There's literally more evidence, if you want to call it that. There's more evidence that Trump molested children than there is that the 2020 election was stolen. But they're trying to find evidence for that. It's ironic. More people have been punished and indicted for disturbing a church service than potentially molesting children. Because all these names saying all these things, everybody from Deepak Chopra to Bobby Slayton, who was a good friend of mine, all of these people with all of these allegations, the least that could happen is somebody do an investigation. But not one person, literally. And they don't need, I've said this before, they don't need a pretext. They believe whatever. They believe Haitians ate dogs and started investigating, right? They believe that Barack Obama wasn't born here. They investigated that, right? Mm-hmm. So they don't need much. They believe that 4 million people voted illegally. They investigated that. I can't understand 38,000 times somebody said your name. There have been all kinds of allegations, and not one reporter asked you anything about it.
And also remember how many times they asked President Barack Obama about his association with that pastor.
Jeremiah Wright.
Just going to the church.
He had to
answer a lot of questions about that.
Jeremiah Wright was a pastor that he went to, I think, a New Birth Baptist, a New Birth Church, right? He said something that they didn't like. And not only did you, right to your point, not only did he have to disavow himself, he had to stop going to church. He had to stop going to that church. Even if you don't like, even if you've convinced yourself, and let's be clear, the whole reason that we're having this conversation about the Epstein list is because during the run up to the election, they were promised, they kept bringing it up because they thought it was this strange cabal of all these weird things happening. And it turns out, let's be clear, QAnon was right about some of this shit. They were absolutely, and QAnon is not even around, and it was right, literally right about some of this shit. Some of these allegations in some of these batches that have been released say some of the very same things they used to say. I'm talking about from murder to eating children to. But the only reason we're having this conversation is because during the run up to election, they were telling everybody that would listen that they were going to release it. And a lot of these podcasts, bros, that was a thing for them. They thought that they were going to find that this right-leaning, this left-leaning conspiracy theory and all these child molesters. And let's be clear, there are a lot of left people in there. Like Donald Trump says, well, they was a Democrat. Well, nigga, you was a Democrat back then. But even if you don't believe any of that, if you can convince yourself that none of this what does it say about the most powerful men in the world that they would comport themselves this way, that they would be in the company of somebody of such ill repute as Jeffrey Epstein? Wouldn't that be a disqualifier that you would associate Like you're a captain of industry. You're a president. You're a prince. You're in charge of a university. What does it say about your judgment that you would associate openly and willingly with someone like that? Because I think if we're having a conversation, leadership is about your judgment. And Donald Trump, well, I didn't know him, I did know him, I kicked him out, I didn't kick him out. We know for sure that everybody was aware of what Jeffrey Epstein was, and certainly by 2016. The last emails talked about how they had Thanksgiving dinner together. His first one when he was president. They exchanged birthday cards. I don't know about you, but I ain't never exchanged a birthday card knowingly with a pedophile. What is and like? Why are so many people in his orbit so rapey? Like it's a lot of rapey people. Like I'm not even trying to be funny. Brett Ratner, who directed Melania, has sexual assault allegations. Steve Bannon is in the Epstein files, right? Elon Musk Peter Thiel in the Epstein files. So how is it that your orbit contains so many people? Because birds of a feather really do flock together. Why are there so many people who've been associated with with sexual assault and rape? Why are there so many people in your orbit? It used to be a time, literally, when those kind of allegations alone would have you'd have to be away from somebody. But now they don't even see, at the very least, they are not the impediment they once were. It's somebody, Barry Weiss from CBS, hired somebody mentioned on the Epstein list and is fighting to keep them. And I think that this country isn't as shocked as there doesn't seem to be any rancor about it because they asked him about everything about that. And I think it's because having powerful white dudes act this way is not new, it's retro. It is. It's retro. There have been more presidents probably and more political figures, equally as many political figures in history that acted like this than right now. I don't think America's as shocked as it pretends to be. I think that we're having this conversation right now because it was a political cudgel. They were convinced that they were going to find all of these people that they didn't like who were pedophiles. And they have, a lot of them who are credibly listed in this. But they also found Donald Trump mentioned 38,500 times. Then you can tell me 2,000 times, but you can't tell me 38,000 times and nothing's wrong.
What kind of precedent do you think is going to be set by the Clintons?
If you can subpoena Congress, who has the power, they have all these committees. If they can subpoena the ex-president and his wife, they can subpoena the members of Trump's cabinet. They can subpoena Elon Musk. They can subpoena Steve Bannon. They can subpoena Donald Trump. Like this precedent, just like this precedent they set of doing these things in this way. I think, to me, the one thing that Trump has done that I really learned from and even respect is he's shown this country where the line is. You can get away. I want a progressive Trump. I want somebody just like him, but on the progressive side, because this country will take it. The courts will back you up. If you can use the power of the pen and challenge, the First, Second, Fourth, and 14th Amendment, you can just challenge them and do what you want and ignore court's orders and take money away from people you don't like and send armies to people that make you mad, and the country accepts it. I don't understand why somebody on the progressive side wouldn't do it. I don't. Like, to me, if you can try to abolish the 14th Amendment, I think that a progressive president should say, let's get rid of the Electoral College. If you can use the power of the pen to strip away this country's history and to get rid of things you don't like, I think that you can use the pen to say, well, nobody can have automatic weapons. You set this precedent, and the courts have said this dude can do whatever he wants. I'm telling you, I would make Mondami look like a conservative. I swear to God. It would be free lunches. I'm not even playing. It would be free lunches. I would, because every time, here's what happens every time. You will see people like Mike Johnson, who comes from Louisiana, talking about California. He's like, Trump is talking about, Steve Bannon was talking about the National Guard and other elements used and stationed in front of polling places. Because we're not going to let them cheat again. And as backup evidence, Mike Johnson was going, well, in California, it takes days, it takes weeks to count the vote. It's the fucking largest. It's the largest state in the country. It's 40 million people. First off, I don't understand why for somebody that lives in Louisiana, a elected official from Louisiana, has anything to say about anything. These motherfuckers fought to put the 10 Commandments on the wall, but can't even read. Fuck the 10 Commandments. Put the ABCs first. But these people, everything is the blue states are doing this and the blue states are doing that. If it were not for the blue states, this wouldn't be a country. California, you can say whatever you want about it, and I'm not saying it doesn't have its problem. It's the 4th largest economy in the world. Without California, this is Venezuela. And you always have people from these podunk ass, you from Louisiana and Mississippi talking about how bad California is. Are you crazy? When the best thing you do is you can live here for free, that's your selling point. The best thing you say is, well, hey man, you can live here tax free. That's what you got?
Yeah. People are always hating on California, though. Always.
But we don't, if you look at the way this country is constructed now, blue states and blue cities do not have elected representation. They don't have a president. They don't have. We're not being governed. And first off, the United States of America isn't being governed. It's being robbed blind. Donald Trump is robbing this country blind, and everybody knows it.
Right.
I'm going to sue the IRS for $10 billion.
Yeah.
Because I can, because of I'm going to take money. I'm going to take a jet from the Qataris. I'm going to steal oil from Venezuela and put it in my own private account. I'm going to sell these peace packages. This crypto thing he did, he got $500 million before he even started, and he said, "Well, I don't know anything about that's my son." It used to be a president had to put all his assets in a blind trust exactly because of this thing, and I think now all bets are off. I think that now that we know what the rules are, now that we know that the country will accept these things, the courts will allow you to do these things, because we counted on norms protecting our democracy. Norms. No one had ever done these things, and we never made them laws. Donald Trump himself said, "I count on my own morality." He said, like, that's his. So, to me, now that you've set a precedent that these are the things that can happen, I would like a progressive dude to do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't a progressive president say, all right, well, I don't like the way these churches do a thing, so I'm going to take that money from them. Donald Trump has done that to universities he didn't like. He's done it to states he didn't like. He's done it to cities he didn't like.
If you vote against it, you don't get to use it.
If you right, and I really think for me, I think whatever you have voted against, you shouldn't benefit from. Like there were states when Biden passed, the infrastructure bill, those states still took that money and built it and put their names on them. If you said no to something, you don't get to use it.
Yeah,
right.
You can, and I would make it mandatory to vote. I don't care who you vote for. This country, they do everything for people not to vote. We should modernize our system. It should be as modern, but people don't want true interaction. They don't want people to participate. But I think the price of citizenship should be that you have to say what you believe. You don't get to just come. I don't care if you just have to say, just like you have to participate in court, you have to go to jury duty. I think you should have to vote. And I'm telling you, the next person who runs for on the progressive side of the ledger needs to understand the rules. You can do whatever you want. This dude is literally acting like a king, and the country is accepting it, and the courts are too. I'm not lying, boy. The first day, I would do it fast because I'm sure I wouldn't last long.
Get him out of here.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they would. For sure.
My presidency would be 20 minutes long.
All your speeches would be on the move.
I'm sure it wouldn't go long. But now we know that we have counted on norms and people being conciliatory. This dude is saying, nah, I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
He doesn't say, like, even with this whole crypto thing, he didn't say it didn't happen. He said, well, that was my son. This dude, they have a club in New York where they sell membership to. Access to the president. Nobody says anything about it. This dude has made, they say in excess of $4 billion.
Well, actually, it's $7.3 billion as of September 2025.
It's the best job he's ever had.
Ever.
And the country is letting it happen. Like, you took oil from a country and put it in your own bank account. You took a whole plane from somebody.
Yeah.
Literally a whole plane and kept it.
But how come nobody's saying anything or protesting or asking the questions?
What enforcement mechanism do you have?
Yeah.
Right. The court already ruled on
But,
something.
and then he owns the courts, he owns the Senate, and he owns the Congress. What enforcement mechanism do you have? And we've learned it. Like, even if the Supreme Court says something and he doesn't want to do it, what do you do? Because we never had to ask that question. Because it would be heresy for somebody to even act like they ain't got to do it. The ICE has sent people away. The courts have said bring them back. They're like, we don't know what we're doing. ICE right now has violated 19 court orders.
I lost them.
I don't know where they are. But I think if that is the standard, if that's the predicate that you've set, that now I can run roughshod. They have in essence empowered him to be a king. He has done things that most American presidents wouldn't have done. But you better believe that's now the template. This is now what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And when you have the Congress, the Senate, and a court that has been that compliant, Donald Trump is right now talking about nationalizing the election. Everybody keeps talking about, well, the Constitution. The Constitution is little more than toilet paper right now.
Right.
You think that these dudes are going to be stopped by old white dudes that wrote something down on a piece of paper? You crazy? So I think, to me, if it is that this is the standard, this is now the predicate, we now know the template. Now a progressive can move just as sweepingly, can do things, because I don't think most people would have a problem with representative government. I think that you should not be allowed to live somewhere. Just like there's certain things you have to pay taxes, you have to pay the rules. You're mad at immigrants who came across the border because they broke the law. Laws are what we make them. I think to live in a country, there are certain things you have to do, and one of those things is to participate. When they had a draft, you had to go, right?
Yeah.
I think it's not asking people to jury duty. You got to go. I think it's not asking people too much that if you live here, you have to vote. I don't care what you vote for. Like, you can vote with, but you have to. But they don't want that. Why is it? And why do we need? Why do we live in a country right now where I have 9 or 8 states that really decide? And why are the states those states? Who moves to, like, Pennsylvania and Ohio? They're not the economic engines that they once were. They're not the population engines they once were. Why does California, who has 40 million people, have the same amount of senatorial representations as the Dakotas? Or Montana? Or Idaho? Damn. Like, some of y'all should just get a half a senator. Some of y'all should split one. I'm not even bullshit. You should split one. Like there are people, like, there are more, literally, if you look, there are more Republicans who live in California, right? Who live in California. More Republicans who live in California than almost people who live in Louisiana. People. And so, but these are the states, these swing states, the states that nobody lives in, the states that are mostly donor states, the receiver states that need money from other people to get. Why would I pay for something? Like, if you look at it, blue states are Oprah and the rest of this motherfucker Stedman. Why would I let you?
Stedman.
It's like, true. But my eyes have been open. And I think the greatest thing about what's happening right now is, absent all of these things, no one would have believed you. Just like Andrew Schultz and all these podcasters and all these people that couldn't conceive that this would really happen, even though everybody knew it. Everybody that knew him and had studied him and was familiar with his last administration knew what he would do. And people get to pretend like they don't. But absent all of that happened, no one would have believed this was possible. Because we always thought it's got to be something to stop him. It's got to be like the courts will stop him, or norms, or people. Nothing. It's nothing to stop him from doing whatever he wants. And so I think that now that is the rule. You set that precedent. I think don't be shocked a progressive president sends troops to places he doesn't like. Don't be shocked when they're arresting your journalists. Don't be shocked when they're deposing your leaders. Don't be shocked. I will say this: Barack Obama and Joe Biden wouldn't be on the Epstein list because he couldn't stay away for the flight. Like he ain't going.
Joe, we here.
I'll be there soon. Yeah.
And you know the good thing about it, the Epstein list is I'm so glad that they're so racist because they're like we don't want any black girls here. This is the only time black worked. The only time
Racism helped us out on
the
that
only
one.
time racism was like thank God.
Yes.
It ain't no. That's the only time. The only time racism ever worked for us when man, ain't no black girls. We don't have to. We don't need any more trauma.
And barely any black people at the parties.
That's the funniest thing is even pedophiles hate niggas. Wow.
God damn.
Wow. Wow.
Oh God.
I know I'm a pederast, but I don't like black people.
It's like, God
I
damn.
just so it I don't think that I think right now that no one is really shocked or angry about these things because like how did QAnon, how were they so spot on? Like how did maybe it wasn't people eating kids at a pizza shop, but a lot of this shit is really happened.
Oh yeah.
A lot of it. And here's the thing. Going back to the Epstein list, do you honestly believe that Trump is not the kind of man who would do that? Like, I grab him by the pussy. I'll do that. I have committed fraud. I can't have a charity. I've stolen. I've lied. I had, unprotected sex with a hooker while my wife was pregnant. I mean... I have watched. I've said openly, talk like sexually, explicitly about my daughter. I've talked about. I've seen. At teenage beauty pants. I've said inappropriate stuff. I've said I'm gonna be dating her in 10 years, a 9-year-old. Like, what about him makes you believe that given the chance he wouldn't do these things?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be an evil motherfucker if everybody agrees. You just can't give shit to nobody.
Right.
We can't trust you.
Right. I can't. Do you honestly, in your heart of hearts, believe he wouldn't do these things?
Yeah. He even talked about his daughter's boobs. You remember?
Man, come on
Who
now.
does that?
I'm like.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because there are people like I could never picture Barack Obama doing this.
To Michelle.
Now I'm talking about these things. Like I could picture Bill Clinton doing it.
Oh.
I could. It's easy for me to do it. I could picture something. It's a lot of people on this list. I'm like, yeah, that nigga would do that.
Oh, for sure.
Like but this dude right here. What you're telling me is, and for sure why I know there's credibility to it, because never once has he said I didn't do this.
We still talking about this shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
He has never once looked in the camera and said, I can't believe I'm going to sue the people who said this to me. And do you know why he ain't going to do that? Yeah. Because if he does and he tries to sue them, he got to get deposed.
Yeah.
You suing the IRS, but you ain't suing the
dude who, if somebody said that you credibly were associated with a dude, like it went from I didn't know him, we weren't friends, I broke up with him, I never knew him, I never was on the island, I never talked to him, to if somebody accused you of something as diabolical as that.
Well, you saw how Jay-Z handled it.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, what he sued? He sued the lawyer and he sued the lady.
That's what you do. You'll sue a comedian for telling a joke at the Grammys, but you won't sue people who have sullied your name like this.
Mm-hmm. And when they ask him about it, instead of answering the question, he just gets mad and says, "You're dumb."
What he actually
stupid.
said, I didn't read it, but powerful people told me that I wasn't in it. You in it 38,000 times. Who the fuck are these people?
I didn't see shit. I didn't see shit.
You in it. They told me you didn't do nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't
38,000 times.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
38,000. That's more than he committed fraud. Are you crazy? 38,000 times.
Yeah. An average book only has what?
70,000 to 100,000
words.
Yeah, half a book.
Yeah.
And they make these people like I told you every week we're gonna do this nigga here, right? Kyle Rittenhouse. At one point, maybe he had a chance to be just a regular decent kid, right? Now, of course, he has become a caricature, And he virtually sounds just like they do, because that's his living now. That's what he is now. So now he's a mercenary for the right. But he says, this is his tweet about Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries is a gay communist. It was his supporters, pedophiles and woman beaters, who attacked me in the streets of Kenosha. Hoo-ha! Now he wants to continue defending these degenerates and use my situation for rage bait and stoke the flames. Nope!
It is the height of irony for somebody associated with the right to talk about pedophiles and woman beaters. Because remember, in his first administration, he had so many woman beaters that their fucking national symbol was bandages. He whipped it was so many people in his administration that Carolyn, like it was dudes that really went at women. They fucking national symbol was sunglasses. Are you crazy?
I mean, I also might add, it's quite interesting that Kyle Rittenhouse took a gun to a protest.
This is...
I mean, just saying.
And used it. I think this nigga here, right? But you know what? You could tell, man. You could tell. Now Kyle Rittenhouse will probably never get no pussy. Never.
I don't think he's
never.
For it.
Oh.
Never. You was this is the saddest thing about it. You murdered somebody, 2 people before you ever got laid. Wow. You took a life before you got some ass. You got it all wrong, baby.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if that dude would have had sex, he wouldn't have been out there with that gun. How do you use a gun before you use your dick? I just don't understand it.
He pulling the wrong trigger.
Oh, I make a correction. This nigga here, Kyle Rittenhouse, is apparently married, which means he really ain't getting no pussy. Like that's he definitely ain't getting none now. I'm gonna see y'all next week on Uncertain. Thank y'all.